Hello, I'm back for another WOW moment, and today on the WOW I'm going to be discussing what have you done for the Lord lately? What have you done for the Lord lately? My God, there are so many people who believe that they're doing something for the Lord, but they really haven't. And I'm going to talk about this because you have a lot of these Christians, a lot of these Catholics, the Mormons, all the religious people and people who are in the church who believe that they're doing something for the Lord, believing that they're serving the Lord in the church, the man-made structured church, and they really aren't doing anything for the Lord. And I'm going to be breaking this stuff down to you people. Now, this is a good question. What have you done for the Lord lately? This is a really good question. This is a question I want to ask all the Christians and all the Catholics and everyone that's in the church. What have you done for the Lord lately? Now, some of you may ask, why do you ask that, David? And I'm glad you asked me that because I'm going to explain this to you. The reason why I ask, what have you done for the Lord lately, is because I want to know, other than serving in the church, serving a man-made religion and serving a man-made structure, what have you done besides serving in the church? What have you done for the Lord? What have you done for the Lord's people? What foundations have you built for the Lord? What personal foundations? Now, I'm not talking about serving in a Christian church or a Catholic church. I'm talking about serving the Lord, the real Lord, the Black Messiah, the real Lord Yahweh, and the Son Yeshua. What have you done for the Lord lately? That's what I want to know. And quite frankly, a lot of people can't answer that because they haven't done anything for the Lord lately. A lot of these Christians think that them singing in the church, serving as an usher, serving as a greeter, collecting the offering, putting church sermons together, is really serving the kingdom of heaven, when in actuality it really isn't. And one thing that these Christians don't understand is that they're embracing a pathetic cause, because the cause of Christianity, the cause of Catholics, in all religions and all the churches, it's all serving a false God, it's all serving a false doctrine, and the Lord is just completely tired of it. The Lord is just tired of people not serving Him, not honoring Him truthfully, but they're serving these preachers and these pastors. And if you think about it, people, the preachers and the pastors has you people so gone. The pastor could say, let's say you go to church on Sunday, the pastor say, okay, on Friday everybody be here to serve the church, to serve a certain event. And what do people do? They'll go and they'll serve the event. And a lot of these Christians don't understand is that they really believe that the work that they're putting in for the church is of the Lord, and it's really not. Singing gospel songs is not going to get you into heaven. Serving as an usher is not going to get you into heaven. Serving as a greeter or serving, and it's crazy part because we have hosts now. We have hosts. Serving as a host as a church is not going to get you into heaven. Everything that's in the church is not of the Lord. It's all a false doctrine. So whatever you feel or you think that you're doing for the real Lord Yahweh, you're not doing anything for Him at all. You're doing stuff to serve the doctrines of lies and to serve this false white Messiah, Jesus Christ, whom that's not even his real name. You're serving that son. You're serving the wrong God. That's basically what you're doing, people. Now, let's get to the truth seekers, because there's a difference between truth seekers and Christians and Catholics. A truth seeker is someone who is building something for the Lord, for his kingdom, who's preaching truth, who's not in the church, and someone who is doing works for the Lord, which is preaching. I won't even say preaching, giving the words to the people, so that people can receive the word to help them in their walk with the Lord. That's what a truth seeker does. A truth seeker will basically do stuff, whether it's videos, whether if it's walking the streets of their hometowns, into malls, into shopping centers, into businesses, and just handing out flyers, just trying to reach the Lord's people, to try to get them out of whatever sins that they're going through. That's what truth seekers do. I'm a truth seeker. I got out of the Christian church, a few months ago, and I was someone who was serving as an usher at the church. I was someone who was singing in the church, in the choir, and I was someone who was greeting in the church. I felt that, the works I was doing for the Lord was works through the church, and it really wasn't. And that's what the lies that these preachers and pastors try to teach you. They try to get you into the false doctrine, come to church on Sundays, sing in the choir, serve as an usher, serve the Lord. That's basically what they're trying to put up, this facade for you people, that serving in the church is what's of the Lord. And a lot of people don't really realize is that these preachers and these pastors are just extremely wicked. They know that church is all lies. They know that serving in the church, serving false doctrines, is not what's of the Lord. But they're not going to tell you, your people, this is because the reason why they won't tell you this, people, is because they want to continue following the lies. They want to continue working for the government-made structure. And for a lot of these preachers and these mega pastors, such as T.D. Jakes, such as Joyce Myers, and all these mega preachers, is that they're getting millions of dollars for doing this stuff. And a lot of you Christians and Catholics don't know is that a lot of these preachers are leading you to the lake of fire, one by one, just leading you to the lake of fire. That's what they're doing, because Christianity has got you stupid. Being a Catholic has made you stupid. The whole facade of religion and the whole man-made structure of church just got you dumb. Like, what are you people doing? Like, do you ever stop to think that, why do I need to serve in a church when I can just go and serve the Lord on my own terms? Do you ever stop to think that while you're sitting and listening to a pastor preach, do you ever stop to think that you may have an opinion, that you may know some stuff, that you may want to speak some truth? Do you ever stop to think that, these pastors and preachers are preaching the same thing in the Bibles, everything in the Bible, every single sermon, it's always the same scriptures, but they just twist it around? Do you ever stop to think that maybe they might want to preach about something else that's going on in this world that these pastors and preachers aren't bringing up? Do you people ever think at all? Do you ever start to think that, church may be a joke, and a lot of people are leaving church and getting out of church, and that the gospel is just basically dying from all these false doctrines? Do you people ever stop to think about that? No, I don't think so. And for a truth seeker like me, there's other people like me all around the world. They're on Facebook, they're on YouTube preaching truth. And the truth that they're preaching, they're not preaching it in the churches, in religion, because pastors and preachers And the government wouldn't even allow those kinds of things. They wouldn't want a truth seeker telling Christians that the Messiah was actually a black man and not a white man. They're not going to want that kind of truth. Not at all. And for, let's say, if a truth seeker comes and walks into the church and gets on, the podium or whatever and takes over the mic and just starts preaching truth, you church people are going to start cursing him, and you're going to think that he's crazy and that he's preaching lies when he's actually preaching truth. A lot of you Christians, it's just really sad because you're just investing all your time and all this money into the false doctrines of Christianity in church. Like, I really don't understand it. And the Roman Catholic Church, has just done a great job with deceiving the masses, deceiving all the black people, destroying every image of Yeshua, the black Messiah, and putting up this white image of Jesus Christ, and just keeping a lot of black people below their standards, keeping black people dumbfounded, keeping them in the dark and not bringing them to light. And like I said, people, these preachers and these pastors, they know that Yeshua, Jesus, was actually a black man. They know this. They know that, like I said, they know that serving in the church isn't what's of the Lord. But at the same time, they're getting that check. They sold their souls to Satan and to the government. That's why everything that has to do with church is all wicked. And for a lot of you people, you're going to keep serving in the church, and God's wrath is going to continue to be on you. So you keep on singing in the church. Keep on serving the demonic gospel. The gospel industry is not even of the Lord, because a lot of these gospel artists, they're living in lust, they're living in sin, and a lot of these gospel artists today, they're not of the Lord. So you thinking you're singing in the gospel, you're thinking that you're singing for the Lord, and you're really not. The Lord hates everything that the church is doing. He hates it. He's not for it. He hates everything about church. The Lord does not care about Christianity. He does not care about the people in church. The Lord wants to know who you are. He wants you to serve him. Serve him in his kingdom only. Be a one person, or be one of the truth seekers in a group in serving the Lord. And get out of Christianity, get out of church, get out of religion, get out of all the false doctrines. Get out. Church is just a slavery. That's what church is. It's all a slavery. That's what church is based on. Church is based on slavery. And I don't really care about other races. I'm mainly focused on black people, because black people, we're the chosen ones. We're the anointed ones. We're the descendants of Yeshua. That's who we are. We have a stronger calling on us than any other race in this world. And the sad part about it is that a lot of black people, they don't know this truth because they're still in church. It's like they can't get out of it. It's like, I have to go to church every Sunday. I have to sing. I have to serve the Lord. I have to, serve the pastor, serve the preachers, and then on top of that, you got churches with schools now. So the government's just playing their cards right, because now they got schools in the churches. Now you got your children going to these churches, and they're being indoctrinated into Christianity and to being a Catholic at a young age. So now Christianity basically is just spreading more and more lies. You got Christian movies, with depicting Jesus as a white man, depicting Moses as a white man, just depicting so many lies just to keep people dumbfounded and to mainly keep black people off the truth. When is it going to be, people? What time is it going to be where you can just step out on faith? Whatever happened to that? Why do people need to go run to church all the time just to follow the Lord? The Lord never said in the Bible that go to church to follow me. He never said that. And when Judgment Day comes and the Lord says, depart from me, for I never knew you, that's what's going to happen, because the Lord wants that one-on-one relationship with you. You don't have to go to church and to serve in the church to get closer to the Lord. You really don't. Stop listening to these pastors and stop listening to these preachers telling you lies, telling you that you need to be in the church in order to follow the Lord. You really don't. You don't need to run to church with your problems and your sins. Give them all to the Lord Yahweh, the real Lord, and to the Son Yeshua. Not that Jesus Christ, that BS name in white Messiah that these Christians and Catholics are pushing on you people. Get out of all that stuff. Just get out of it. Please, people, just get out of it. Let's turn to Isaiah chapter 6, verses 11 through 12. I'm in the book of Isaiah chapter 60. I'm in the book of Isaiah chapter 65, verses 11 through 12. And it says here, But you are those who forsake the Lord, who forget my holy mountain, who prepare a table for God, and who furnish a drink offering for Menai. Therefore I will number you with the sword, and you shall all bow down to the slaughter, because I called you, you did not answer. When I spoke, you did not hear, but did evil before my eyes, and chose that in which I do not delight. I read that again. Therefore I will number you for the sword, and you shall all bow down to the slaughter, because when I called you, you did not answer. When I spoke, you did not hear, but did evil before my eyes, and chose that in which I do not delight. And what is that, people? Church, Christianity, serving in the Catholic Church, all these religions and churches that you guys are serving in. That's not what's of the Lord, and that's not in His favor. And it's not even in your favor as well, people. So that's why I encourage you people to get out of it. Also, let's look at Deuteronomy chapter 18, verses 19 through 20. It says here, Then it shall be, if you by any means forget the Lord your God, and follow other gods, and serve them and worship them, I testify against you this day that you shall surely perish. As the nations which the Lord destroys before you, so you shall perish, because you would not be obedient to the voice of the Lord your God. So basically what he's saying, people, is that when the Lord destroys all the nations in Judgment Day, you also shall perish. You won't be raptured, because you weren't obedient. You weren't obedient to the Lord. You were obedient only to church. You were only obedient to religion. You were only obedient to these mega pastors and preachers such as Joyce Myers and Creflo Dollar and T.D. Jakes. All these demonic ass preachers and pastors you were devoted to, and you weren't even devoted to the Lord. And all your small time pastors and preachers you were devoted to, you were never once devoted to the Lord. You never once built a foundation with the Lord. You never did the Lord's will for your life. You never did any work for the Lord. Faith without works is dead, people. So what have you done for the Lord lately, people? What have you done for the Lord? And I'm not talking about Christianity. I'm not talking about Catholics. I'm not talking about church or religion. I want to know, the Lord wants to know, what have you done for Him lately? And I bet a lot of people can't answer that, because you're doing nothing for the Lord but serving in church and religion. And it's time for you people to get out of that. I pray for you people. And the Father, the real Father, Yahweh, and the real Son, the Black Messiah, Yeshua, Amen.